welcome to episode 3 of Inside Athletics. I'm your host, Brandon Thomas. Let's do a quick recap of the busy weekend we had in Colonel Athletics this weekend. On Saturday, men's basketball played LSU in a Hurricane Ida relief game. The final score was 74-62, with LSU coming out on top. Also on Saturday, Nicholls football traveled to Houston Baptist and gave them a good whooping, 44-11. Last night, soccer fell once again to Incarnate Word in their final home game of the season, 0-2. Next week coming up, there's a lot of big things, but we'll get to that later. We're going to take a quick commercial break, then we're going to come back with head softball coach Justin Lewis.
Well, yes, sir. We'll get right on that. I'll see you in the morning, okay? All right, bye. I'm going to need you to pull the 2 coordinates for the DOQQ. TLU Communication needs to build a new tower to fill a gap in their cell coverage, and they're going to need a clear line of sight between that tower and their antenna.
I'm downloading the DTM for a cross-section view.
We're going to have to get that hill ground truth to find out what's there.
There's a field crew in that vicinity. I can make the call.
Okay, what do you need? We have a mature pine plantation about 60 feet tall.
There's a clear line of sight at 175 feet and above. That's how tall they'll need to build.
All right, looks good. Print it off. All right, here's the information on the hill we were looking at. It seems perfect for your new tower.
We'll start construction immediately. Thanks for getting this so quickly. In the past, we'd have to wait weeks.
Well, you gotta love modern geomatics.
More like geo magic. We need boundary and topographic survey.
If you're like me, your workday doesn't stop for you to go back to school. With Nicholls Online, it doesn't have to. I work towards my degree on my own time. Plus, I get to learn from experienced faculty without ever going to campus. Log on to Nicholls Online now. If you're like me, your workday doesn't stop for you to go back to school. With Nicholls Online, it doesn't have to. I work towards my degree on my own time. Plus, I get to learn from experienced faculty without ever going to campus. Log on to Nicholls Online now.
And we're back. I'm here today joined by new softball coach Justin Lewis. How you doing, Coach?
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, Coach, you're here at Nicholls State University now, one of your many stops along your path in your career. Can you just kind of break down how you went from a kid in Arizona to getting a taste of coming to Louisiana and then going all over the country?
Yeah, no, getting a taste of it is really like kind of what led me to here, right? So, born and raised in Tucson, Arizona, played junior college baseball at Central Arizona College, and then transferred out to the University of Louisiana Monroe. It was Northeast Louisiana University when I went there. That kind of dates me a little bit. But yeah, that's where I first got the taste of Louisiana and the people, the food, the culture. Kind of always had this draw back to the state. Got done playing ball, went back to my junior college and coached college baseball for 3 years. And then I got out of coaching for 15 years as far as like being associated with the university. Did all kinds of sales jobs, sold cars, manufactured homes, mortgages, and then started having kids, right, and out of a need for stability for my family, joined the fire department and did that for almost 10 years. And I had this saying that, life is pretty good for us right now, but if I could do it over again, I'd have never got out of coaching. And my wife, after hearing me say that for the 10 millionth time, I remember I hung up the phone and she said, "Hey," and I looked at her and she said, "Can you get back in?" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Get back into coaching." She's like, "I'm sick and tired of hearing you say that."
Right.
And it was kind of one of those YOLO moments, where it was like, it's on paper, it's not the move. I'm halfway through a public safety retirement. She's halfway through a teaching retirement.
Right.
But
she put a little fire in you.
That's it.
You made it
That's
out.
it.
So, Coach, you were a firefighter for 10 years. That's kind of a unique path to end up being a coach at a collegiate program like Nicholls. Just talk about how being on that sort of a life-saving team helped you kind of develop your coaching philosophies and mottos and stuff like that, coaching a team of girls like this.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes then with our philosophy in the athletic department this year, which is in it together, and so it's one of the cool things about the fire department is it draws a lot of athletes to it because you get over playing the game. Like, you miss it, right? But you get over that. What you really have a hard time getting over is the locker room, the camaraderie. Right. And that's what the fire service is. So that's what draws a lot of us to it. But it's, you know, it's a life or death situation, you know, and so if you're making bad decisions, you're going to get somebody hurt.
Right.
So it's not that, but having that perspective of really being prepared. You know, it freaked me out every time I got a promotion and was in charge. Like, oh, people's lives are in my hands, right? And so just that I wasn't always like a prepared person. Right. I kind of winged it a lot.
Right.
And that was the biggest thing I learned out of the fire service was being prepared. And I've just taken that with these girls as they, you know, I tell them at the beginning, like, hey, I don't expect much, just everything you got. Right. And I got to give that to them as well. So the team principles, whether you're a sales team, a fire department, or a softball team, those are the same, you know, and it's everyone's got to buy in. At the end of the day, I really believe that that wins are a byproduct of bringing in really talented individuals, investing in them as individuals and you know, softball players as well, and then creating an environment where they really want to be, and you know, just investing in these young people and helping them become the people they were meant to become. Right. That's why I came back. Well,
the message you're sending about the wins being secondary and making sure that you have a team and a unit first is kind of like the same message we got from Coach Robert Podine a couple weeks back. So that sounds like the same thing that Coach JT, I still call him Coach JT sometimes, but JT kind of focused on in hiring people like you. You came in July. You came in early July. You were, you know, one of the new cast members at Colonel Athletics, and you know, contrary to some of the other people that have to wait for their season to start to really get a chance to see what they look like outside of practice, softball has these exhibition games. Sure. Y'all are like, I think 2 or 3 games in right now. Can you just talk about being able to see kind of a preview?
Yeah, it's nice because we don't get that in baseball, like where I came from, right? And so being able to get those previews and see, you know, at the end of the day, we can practice, but sometimes you got to see it perform against other teams. And so getting those 8 games, we get 8, I think we got 7 scheduled. It's a great preview, and it gives you an opportunity to mix and match lineups, see how kids perform under the lights, but kind of not really under the lights. Not as many people are paying attention. The wins and losses part don't count, so to speak. They're still competitive, but it's really nice to be able to see what you're working with under those conditions. And from our very first game, we hadn't started our practice before the hurricane, and so but our schedule was set for the fall. So we had a game, and we had 1 practice before that.
Wow.
So, and it looked like when we played that game, it looked like we had 1 practice. It wasn't really that good.
Right.
But then when we got to play the next doubleheader, you could see the growth already. And so we've gotten a tremendous amount of just hardworking, kind kids. I mean, we'll out good kid you to death. I mean, we got the best group of kids and it makes this job so easy and so enjoyable because they're just great kids and they've bought in. They're excited to learn, and you can see from the first game to the second and third game like how much better they've gotten. And we got to go play LSU here shortly, so we're gonna have to keep getting better.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna say, well, look, from like you said, from that first game, you've constantly improved up until this point. And these games, they don't really count for much, but they're putting in sort of like sweat equity. You know what I'm saying? They're out there grinding, busting their butt, getting plays like it's a real actual game that counts towards making the playoffs and something like that. And I think that's really important when it comes time for those games that count.
Absolutely.
And you get a chance to play LSU. You get a chance to put the whole state on notice, like, hey, it's us.
That's
We're
right.
here.
That's right. And I mean, it's going to expose you too.
Right.
You know, and that's one of the cool things. It's like, hey, it shows us where we're weak, and it gives us an opportunity to go fix that and work on it. And you know, the girls individually, they get exposed in their weak areas. And so it's one thing when we as coaches kind of already know their weaknesses and we can pitch to them if we're just doing an inter squad practice. But when the other teams can do it, then it kind of, we got to look in the mirror, right?
Those different colored jerseys
That's
come,
it.
they start slinging that thing.
That's it. So it's fun. I'm glad we have it because it's a nice preview, and it's, you know, the falls can be so repetitive and mundane where they get, you know, they want to play somebody else, and so they get that opportunity, and I love that softball does it. It's a great thing for us. So.
Wow. That's great, Coach. Can you just talk about how you feel? I know you've been to ULM and stuff like that, but now that you're trying to kind of getting the chance to get ingrained into the community of Thibodaux and stuff like that, what's your favorite part? The food, the people?
I'm a people person, and so people here are second to none. And we've got our challenges here at Nichols, and so how do we overcome that? You can't miss on the people. And we've got 2 recruits sitting in our office right now, and that's my pitch to them. Like, we've got challenges here.
Right.
It's real important for us to, as coaches, as JT hiring us, he thinks I'm the right person, right? And I put that down on them as well. Like, you've got to be the right people to be here and to excel. And this community's been amazing. They've embraced us and my assistant coaches and my family, and man, the people are great. Now I've gained about 15 pounds since I've been here, so obviously the food's pretty good too. So yeah. So no, food is amazing. I knew that coming here, and it's been great. But it's the people, man. And the people make the food. So right.
Hey.
That's it.
That's how it is.
That's
Down
it.
home.
That's it. That's
Down,
it.
It's down home in
That's it.
Thibodaux.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you for stopping by today. I really appreciate you for giving us kind of an outlook of what's going to go on in the season and everything like that. And I'd like to thank you. And good luck.
Yes, man. Thanks for having me, and better have us back on during the season.
Oh, yeah. That's going to happen. Once I start racking up the wins, we're going to have you in
Love
there.
it.
We
Hey, wins
definitely-
or losses, you better have us back in here. We can talk about it.
We got it.
I love it.
We got you.
I love it.
We got you, Coach.
Awesome, man.
All right, let's take a look at some of the games coming up with some of your coworkers
Sure.
in the athletic department. So we have Texas A&M and Corpus Christi. You have to come play in volleyball. Coach Callie, we haven't gotten a chance to get her on here yet, but she'll come around one day.
Better get down here, Coach.
Then we have a cross-country match coming up. We have to play the Southland Conference Championship. We get a chance to go with them and run with some of the people in the conference. Then we have soccer at Southeastern. We get a chance to see our rivals up the road. And then volleyball plays UIW.
Nice.
And this weekend, we have the huge homecoming game. Homecoming in downtown Thibodaux as Northwestern comes down to play Nichols Saturday at 12 p.m.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I can't wait, man. Football, man, has been awesome. We got this recruit in town, and I asked her, give her my whole pitching spiel to come here. And I said, "You got any questions for me?" She says, "Yeah, you guys got football, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And she let out an expletive and said, "Yeah." Like, she was all fired up about it. And I said, "And they're good." Like, it's
Right.
different when you got it and they're good, you know.
Right,
So
right,
yeah,
right,
it's
right.
been awesome to watch, and Coach Rebo's the mayor of this place, as everyone knows. So he's the man.
Well, that's great, Coach. We're happy to have you down in Thibodaux. We're happy to have you here at Nichols.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Once again, for Inside Athletics, I'm Brandon Thomas, finishing episode 3. Have a good day.
Earning a degree doesn't have to take away from your busy social life. With Nichols Online, I can take affordable 8-week classes on my own time. Plus, it's from an accredited, respected university that I trust. Log into Nichols Online now. Earning a degree doesn't have to take away from your busy social life. With Nichols Online, I can take affordable 8-week classes on my own time. Plus, it's from an accredited, respected university that I trust. Log into Nichols Online now.
I'm from Louisiana. 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 I'm from Louisiana.
Welcome to All In.
your one-stop shop for all of Nichols news. You're listening to 91.5 KNST Thibodeau, your local alternative.
Know you got haters, but raise both hands up